You've heard the line, AI is coming for your job. It sounds dramatic, it spreads fast, and it's kind of comforting because it allows us to blame something external from ourselves. Here's the less comforting truth. AI isn't coming for you, it's coming for the parts of your job that don't justify your salary. It's coming for slow thinking. It's coming for visible busyness rather than actual output. It's coming for people who mistake effort for value. Right now, somebody in the same industry as you, same title, same experience, is quietly becoming more effective, faster, clearer, and more useful than you. Not because they work harder, but because they've learned how to interface with machines. And that's the shift that most people are missing. Your value is no longer defined by how much work you do. Your value is defined by the outcomes you create, however that may be. In this video, I'm going to break down a simple, practical framework, the AI productivity stack, that turns you from replaceable into genuinely difficult to ignore. Not by becoming technical, not by becoming a prompt engineer, but by becoming an augmented human being. Let's be honest about what's actually happening in the modern workplace. The volume of meeting increases, the inbox gets busier, there is always more to do, and there is never enough time to do it. So everyone's under quiet pressure to produce more with the same amount of time. And people have just been responding by stepping up instead of stepping back. That's where AI comes in, not as a replacement, but as a multiplier. AI doesn't think for you, it just amplifies the thinking that you bring to it. If your thinking is shallow, you'll just create shallow work faster. But if your thinking is clear, structured, and directional, AI gives you the ability to scale it further. The real pivot looks like this, from moving from doing to directing, from effort to leverage, and from reacting to orchestrating. And once you see the shift, you'll realize something uncomfortable. You're not competing with AI. You're competing with the other human that is using AI better than you. The first lever isn't productivity, it's visibility. Most careers stall, not because they're not capable, but because the work that they do isn't clear and legible. AI collapses that problem. It takes raw data and spits out a final report. It identifies patterns in messy data and turns vague ideas into structured output. And it can do all of that in seconds. But the mistake people make is using AI to replace their thinking instead of project it. We all know that in big organisations, it's not necessarily about the work that you do, it's about how well you communicate that work to senior people. The person who delivers more insights in a faster way, with more clarity, is setting themselves up to succeed more than someone who doesn't. You should use AI to get a first draft in minutes, not hours. You should use it to surface the patterns you might have missed, but then it's on you to edit it ruthlessly. AI gives you speed, but you give it judgment. That combination is rare, and it's very, very visible. I think when I first realised the power of AI in supporting me in doing my role in advertising, I worked on a global playbook, like a very detailed document around how to do mobile marketing. And this is to help with app downloads for a global fast food brand that everyone will know. I built it out, I used ChatGPT and Gemini to help with all of the technical elements, but I was responsible for the strategy. That playbook has been scaled across Europe, America. Everyone within that organisation knows that I am the person to come to with any questions around how to do effective mobile performance marketing. I was responsible for the judgment. AI helped me with the technical knowledge, but I've reaped the benefit because now everybody knows that I was responsible for that incredibly valuable piece of work. AI isn't just about faster output. It's about using it to become the person that people go to before they make decisions, being a strategic lead. And that's a different career trajectory entirely. The second lever is time, and this is brutally underutilized. Think about how much of the average professional's day is just spent on admin. Most professionals lose time that doesn't even really require a human brain. Inbox sorting, status updates, formatting decks, reconciling spreadsheets, chasing information that already exists somewhere. This is where AI quietly changes the rules. Emails, threads, reports, dashboards, all automated, summarized, clearly, to save you time. Not perfectly, but well enough. And well enough is all that matters. Because when you remove the low value friction, something amazing happens. You spend more time thinking and less time doing. This is where strategy lives. This is where insight forms. And this is where careers are made. Here's some practical uses. Use AI to organize your inbox. Use AI to automate recurring workflows and reports. And use AI to turn raw data into structured reports and summaries. This isn't about working less, it's about using your cognitive load and your time in more meaningful, high-value ways. The final lever is learning speed. In the future of work, execution alone is not enough. The people who will win are the ones who reskill fastest. And AI functions as your permanent judgment-free tutor, where you can break down complex topics and you can simulate different potential outcomes. You can stress test your decisions and you can identify gaps in your current thinking. The traditional learning curve, courses, books, slow feedback, all of this gets compressed. It doesn't get removed, it just gets compressed. Anyone who wants to get ahead in AI should use daily micro-learning prompts to upskill in your career. Run scenario simulations that are relevant to your day-to-day work in your role, and ensure you're constantly iterating ideas, testing, learning, repeating what works, and testing new things again if they don't. This matters because learning compounds. The person who learns more gets more efficient, they get more effective, and they get more able to deliver more meaningful outcomes for the business. In turn, they become more irreplaceable. You know, I mentioned that playbook that I built out for that large fast food company around like mobile advertising. After finishing that work, which I said I lent on quite heavily for AI, that opened up a number of other opportunities. So we took that work that was predominantly around how can we capture users' data, and then we applied that thinking towards all of the broader advertising that we do. So how can we build more intelligent audiences based on what we know about how consumers shop and what they purchase? So using AI unlocked a much bigger opportunity for my career in other areas. The point is this: AI doesn't make you smarter, it makes improvement easier. All three levers point to the same thing. Your future isn't just what you know, and it isn't just what you do, but it's how well you can coordinate your tools, your time, and your attention. The augmented human isn't a tech role, it's a posture. They use AI to amplify their authority, protect their deep work, and develop new skills. They don't fight automation, they sit on top of it. In a world where output is cheap, judgment becomes expensive, and that should be your competitive edge. Here's the uncomfortable ending. AI won't replace you overnight, but if your role is mostly executional, it will expose you and perform better than you. The people who adapt first won't announce it, they'll just start succeeding. So start to adapt, and you can try one of these three pillars. But start. Use AI to make your thinking visible. Automate one recurring task. Accelerate one skill that you've been putting off. Not because it's trendy, but because leverage compounds and inaction does not. That's the difference between being indispensable and left behind. This is Self to Wealth.